Hey everyone, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star. If you're new here or you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. Not only does it help us feed all of our hungry hippos, but it really does help the channel. And speaking of helping us, hit that thumbs up while you're at it. Today is Wednesday, October 23rd. So because it's a Wednesday, that means it's time for Midweek Motivation. This is the video every week where you get to watch me work while I give you a motivational or a pep talk or tough love sometimes. I hope you brought some work with you so that we can all work together and be productive while we have this little chat. This week's going to be some tough love. I want to know why y'all insist upon making things so complicated. So many resellers that I know or interact with on a daily basis continue to make things harder than they need to be. You're overcomplicating things. You are making things hard when they do not need to be hard. In reality, there are 3 things that a reseller needs to do each day. You need to ship what sold. You need to list on your selling platforms to replace what sold, and you need to source more items to list. That's not complicated. So why do so many continue to make it complicated? I understand it's easy to get caught up in the complexities of reselling. It's easy to overthink things. It's easy to want to be a perfectionist. I hear that most with photographs. A lot of resellers spend entirely too much time taking photos. You're not taking photographs for good housekeeping or to submit to an art gallery. They're for your listings. So they should be good photographs, good lighting, good background, clear pictures. Make sure they're not blurry. Make sure you're getting all of the pictures that you need, including tags and measurements and other information. But they don't have to look like they're coming out of a professional studio. They just have to be good enough that they're enticing when a buyer sees the front one, and they'll click into your listing and they can see all the information they need to see. There's this old adage a lot of resellers will tell you that you should take photographs like there's no written description, and you should write your description like there are no photographs. But a lot of resellers overthink every decision or most decisions, and you really don't need to. You don't need to obsess over your sourcing methods. Have you found something that works for you? Then continue to do it. If you want to add a new sourcing method here and there, let's say you have a really great place to go thrifting, but you live in a place where it's going to be winter soon and there's going to be snow and ice on the grounds. So do a little bit of research for wholesale. Add something, but don't spend 12 hours a day researching and going to auctions and doing your new sourcing method. Just dedicate a little bit of time to it. Don't over obsess or overthink pricing strategies. It is really easy to get caught up in that. It is really easy to get caught up in overthinking pricing strategies. Everyone knows how to comp, look the item up, look at solds, but also look at actives. Most resellers are just going to tell you to look at solds, which you should be doing. You need to look at solds. That tells you what items actually sell for. But you also need to look at active listings. Not many resellers will tell you that. And the reason is because items can lose value or gain value. People can race to the bottom and trash a market, or a new movie can come out and suddenly all your Smurf plushies are selling for more money. It's important to check both and look at the dates. When you check your solds, if the last time something sold was 6 months ago, go to the actives and see how many are listed. If there's none listed or very few, it's an item that's not oversaturated and it's probably more sought after. If it sold 6 months ago and there's 5,000 of them listed, that's a terrible sell-through rate and you don't want it. But it's really easy to comp. And then your pricing strategies should be very simple. You don't have to overthink them. Decide if you're going to list higher than you want to leave room for offers. Decide how you're going to run your sales. I do recommend running sales 24/7. If you didn't watch my videos last week, we did a whole series on how to use newsletters and coupons and sales on the back end of eBay in your store to attract more traffic, more buyers, and make more profits. Sales are super important. Sales are enticing. They do something to a buyer's psychology to make them want to buy, but they also give you a boost in searches. But it's simple. Your pricing strategy is let me comp it. Let me add a couple bucks if I want to price high. Do I want to end in 99? Do I want an even number? Am I doing shipping or not? It's very simple. You can sit down and figure it out in 5 minutes. And marketing tactics. Well, we all sell on eBay. Most of us sell on Poshmark or Mercari or Etsy as well. These are global platforms. They're doing most of the marketing for us. The Google bots do crawl the selling platforms and will pull your items into Google for you. So we're not really worried about so much marketing as like a brick and mortar or Walmart or Spirit Halloween or something like that. We can do promoting within each selling platform that offers it. You can do sales and all of those other things I mentioned on eBay to entice people and bring more traffic in. But we're not really worried about marketing, and you shouldn't be. Decide if you're going to promote, decide how, percentage, whatever you're going to do, and do it. Give it 3 months. If it's not really working, try something new. I say 3 months. Other people will tell you a month. I think you really need like a whole 3-month period to really test something out to see if it's going to work or not. And Q4, by the way, is not the time to test stuff. This is not the time. Because you could try a new promotion tactic right now and your sales could go through the roof and you think, oh, this is a good one. I'm going to stick with it. And come January, your sales tank. It's because of Q4. Your sales are going to go up anyway. But the marketing is really a no-brainer. Like if you have a white background, Google's going to grab you. You're on platforms that will promote you. And then you just have to do each platform, you have to do what you need to do to be seen. There's tricks on eBay. There's tricks on Poshmark, Mercari, Etsy. So don't overthink it. Like literally ship, list, source. That's all you need to do. You do not need to make it any harder than that. The key to success is really simplicity. Because when you find something that works for you and you simplify it and you streamline your processes, you're going to be more productive. When you're constantly changing how you're doing things and testing things and trying things and second guessing yourself and doing all this research and hemming and hawing, you're not being productive. I did say try something new. Yes, absolutely. Don't get stuck in a rut. Don't get stuck doing the same thing over and over all the time. Successful people do not get complacent, but decide what you're going to try, implement it, put it into place, mark it on the calendar. You can only give it 1 month if you want. I suggest 3, but you got to do what you got to do for your business. But then don't touch it. That's the other thing. When people overcomplicate stuff or they're trying stuff, you're trying too many things at the same time and you're changing them constantly, you're never going to see true results. You're never going to see if something's really working or not. If you throw 5 things at the wall and your sales increase, how do you know which of those 5 things is working and which the other 4 maybe aren't? So don't put too many irons in the fire, as they like to say. Don't just try a bunch of things willy-nilly and run all over the place and try this and that. You got to pick something to try, put it in place, and leave it alone. Come back later. If it worked, great. Add something else. If it didn't, try something new. But you shouldn't be juggling endless, mindless tasks every day that are not doing anything for you. You really need to streamline your processes. You need to boost that productivity. You need to get routines. I can't say the word routines enough. I could say it a million times in a million videos, a million times a day, a week, a year. And some of y'all still ain't listening. Some of y'all are still asking me, how you can be more productive. I've been telling you for 8 years, you need routines. I told you this was going to be a tough love video. I told you, I warned you. You need routines. Stop fiddle farting around. Stop getting out of bed in the morning with no purpose, with no plan, with no routine, and just wandering around your house looking for something to do. That is not what a successful person does. A successful person gets out of bed with a plan in place, a routine in place. They know exactly what they're doing that day, and they get it done. If you're winging it every day, you're never going to be successful. And that's when you start overthinking, and that's when you start complicating things and making them harder than they need to be. Because my sales are down. Oh my gosh, I have to try all these things and do all this research and waste time watching YouTube and reading articles. When in reality, you could just be consistently listing every day and running a sale and probably increasing your profits. You need to narrow your focus. Ship, list, source. The most successful resellers and people in general are those who make smart, quick choices. They prioritize their time and their energy so that they can streamline every step of the way, every process of their day, every part of their business, so that they are working smarter and not harder. So what I want you guys to do is to take a step back. Think about your day. Evaluate how you're spending your time. Do you wake up every morning with a clear, concise plan in place? Do you wake up every morning knowing what your routine is going to be? Evaluate how you're really spending your time. Be honest with yourself. I'm not asking you to tell me or tell my Facebook group. You don't have to come out publicly. I'm not asking for, public humiliation here, but be honest with yourself. If you're wasting time and you're making things harder than they need to be and you're complicating things and overthinking, at least admit it to yourself and fix it. Just over time, you can simplify things and you can get a routine in place and you can figure out how to really streamline your processes and be more productive. It starts with a piece of paper and a pen. Write down, list, ship, list, source. That's all we really need to do. There's other stuff that we have to do. We have to do taxes. Obviously, you're going to want to figure out if you're going to do promoted or sales. But we're talking about simplifying things right now. You do need a routine. Did I mention that 1,000 times? Can I hammer it into your head? You need a routine. You need to remove unnecessary complications. Stop overthinking every little thing, every step of the way. Sometimes, you guys, good enough is good enough. Sometimes it is. Once you get rid of all the overthinking and the complications, and you stop making things harder than they need to be, you're going to have less stress. You're going to think with more clarity. You're going to streamline processes. You're going to be more productive. You're going to be a happier person, and you're going to make more money. So just take a step back today and think about it. Evaluate how you spend your time. I've done a challenge on this channel several times in the past. About once a year, I challenge people just to track how they're spending their time. So you can do that if you'd like. What I tell people to do is you can do it digitally on your phone, or you can get a piece of paper and a pen and be a dinosaur like me. And just for like a week, track how you're spending your time. So like literally write down as your day goes from the time you get up until you go to bed, just keep track of what you're doing and be completely 1,000% honest with yourself. If you literally spent from 11 a.m. till 5 p.m. on Netflix and didn't work, write it down. Tell yourself, be honest. This is just for you. But keep track of everything you do in a day for a week And you can really see once it's written down on paper where you're wasting time, where you're overcomplicating, and where you're overthinking. And you can get back to the basics of being a reseller. Ship list source. That's going to be like my new logo. We need t-shirts. Ship list source. Guys, make your lives simpler. Simplify your processes. Be more productive. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate you guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below. And don't forget to join the Facebook group, Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. I'll see you next time. Bye.